Listen to your heart, hear what it's saying. Stop. Look. Listen to your heart, hear what it's saying. Love. 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 Never too late, too late to. 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 Never too late, too late.
That thing hit every time. Every time it come on, it hit
That
the
Boy,
thing
same.
what?
does hit every time. It is very
Every time.
consistent.
Never
That
too
thing
late.
definitely jumped.
Too late to
Shout to Bill.
chill.
A Bill Tiki. Get you on a bill. Ladies, if you out there, need a man who can do it all, get you on a bill. He done served the country,
Oh God.
fought against terrorism, man, making beats. What
What
can he
can
do?
you do?
Jesus.
Whew. I can't do half of it.
Walk
That
your
Bill, make sure that
dog,
cash.
paint your
Man.
fence,
Cut your grass. Change your oil.
cut your grass.
Mm, mm, mm.
Man, what's going on? How's it hanging?
Hey, man. Well, I'm
My,
tired, boss. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm tired of hell. I'm like, this week kick my ass.
I'm tired of all my sports teams losing, including my fantasy team. I'm tired of that.
Man.
Not a great week for me in the win categories at all.
No, I was definitely struggling. Struggle bus this week. Colts lost. Ohio State lost. 0-2 in fantasy. Definitely was. Whew. Yeah, it was a rough one, but got through. Got through.
Yes.
Um,
With fantasy, I'm sick and tired of playing Cameron Evans and him having his best game of his entire. He won't score as well as he did the entire rest of fantasy, but week one, I think it happened last year too. Cam always seems to evade me some way, somehow. Baltimore's defense had a chance to put me over the top, but we see how that ended. So,
mm-mm-mm.
yeah.
Shit, Darvin's dad beat the shit out of me, so
Yes, Pops came through. His Texas prediction may have been dog awful, but his fantasy team came through, especially Dak Prescott, Dakota Rain Prescott raining in the bombs on the Bucks defense.
so
Facts.
we're gonna start right here. This is a question that I didn't even tell them I was gonna ask them this. That's just a topic that's like a lot of different people can relate to. It's in the sports realm, but so me and my girl, we go back and forth on this all the time. It's kind of like I wouldn't call it an argument yet because it's not, it hasn't happened yet, and but we go back and forth on it all the time. Are y'all gonna let y'all kids play football?
Yes, yes, absolutely, and it's and I hear the argument all the time, like not forcing your kids to do things, and I'm all for that, but for me personally, I'm always gonna force them to do it initially, and then if they don't like it, then they don't like it. But you got to try it. Maybe if you don't like to get hit, then maybe you need to play something not running back related. Maybe you need to play quarterback or
Yeah.
receiver or something, or maybe you need to be the one delivering the hit. Stuff like that. But if my child absolutely dead hated football, then I wouldn't make them. But initially, I would.
Man, I go back and forth because I'm a hypocrite because I
Right,
played for so long. But man, I don't even know. Like, it's tough. And not even because, like, we can be real. Even after playing, like, I'll have, like, hella headaches and, like, my body just hurt for no reason. Um, but I think I'm with Darv, if they come, but I'll go with this. If they come to me and because obviously
right.
football gonna be on while they growing up. They might wanna. And I mean, and part of me wants to coach too. Like I can see myself coaching in like another part of my life. So why not have my kid on my team? But damn, if I had a kid and he was like, pops, I think I'm gonna just go hoop. I'd be like,
Good
you know
choice.
what?
Yeah.
I'll let you go do that. You or you want to go play baseball? Go play that. Hey, I'm gonna work on like, but I don't know. It's tough. Um, I would. We gonna watch it. First time you say you good, I'm be like, all right, let's go. Let's ride then. If you don't want to do it, you're not doing it. Just because the safety aspect is there, but damn, I did it for so
Right.
long. I don't regret it. Like I don't want to say I regret it at all. Like I'd do it again if I could, but sometimes as a parent, I could tell that I would want to be the protector, like not like the
Yeah.
helicopter, like don't do this, don't do that, but like, hey man, long term football, it's gonna do some things to you. So I don't know. I probably would at the end of the day, but first sign they said they're not
Yeah.
messing with it. All
So
right, we gone.
I was gonna have my girlfriend on, and we were gonna talk about it all together, but she gotta be up early and stuff. So but yeah,
We
but
get it next week.
man, it is a crazy. It's hard topic because I was little background. I started playing football when I was in kindergarten. I played up because my dad was a coach, second grade coach. Played for the Bulldogs. I went to practice for the first day, wore pads. I got hit so hard I never went back to practice when I was in kindergarten. So I took the break, came back, played in like second grade. So from second grade, you like what, like 7, 6, 7. So I played from then all the way till I was 23. So in the trenches that whole time. So that's 17, 17 years playing football. Just hurt on your body. Like my body hurt, back hurt, knees hurt. But thing is about all of it, like just the what the game has brought. Just all my friendships, all the times competing with your brothers, all the trips you done made, all the stories you done had. I would never take it back. With that being said, like with my kid, I wouldn't. They not starting football at that young though. You know, they gotta if they're playing, they gotta know like this is like the inherent risk of playing football. Like so, I'm thinking like 12, 13.
Mm-hmm.
You can play flag before that. You gon' like Darv said, you gonna play other sports. I'm gonna force you into some sports. You gonna play sports. You gonna play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Basketball,
yeah.
you got to play
You
that
gonna
way
have to play
too.
just
Yeah.
because
Mm-hmm.
builds character. It's gonna build accountability. Just build your confidence. Just playing sports, seeing what you're good at. And the thing about it is like my girl's like she's like no, like not playing football. Like she's not budging on it. And my only thing about it is I'm not trying to deprive my kid from opportunity of something that they can be really good at. If they feel like they can, you know, they
Right.
watch football because there's gonna be football in the house. I'm gonna be talking about football. I'm gonna be, like Braxton said, I can see myself coaching football, whatever. So it's gonna be around. And if they feel like they can be,
Mm-hmm.
dominant in it, or even be good at it, or feel like they could love it, I'm not gonna take that away from them just because of they might get a concussion. It's not guaranteed. So that's just how I am on it. I'd like to hear how everybody else feels on it, though. I know a lot of parents is like a lot of former football players is like I'm not letting my kid play football. So it's definitely a hot topic.
Yeah, pays for your college. If you get an opportunity to take you out of the state that you live in, if that's what you want. I mean, sports open up a lot of doors, and I mean, it would be a shame, if your kid wanted to play, not to let them play. But in the same, aspect, you gotta, know when to say they don't want to play and they're not interested and it ain't for them.
Right. Don't be don't be that dad, or don't be that parent. Don't be that parent that's your kid out there not good, don't want to play, and still out there forcing them out there because that's not a good look on both of y'all end, to be honest.
Yeah. We we had a kid like that. I think he grew to love it, but you could tell
Yeah,
pops had him out there to start, and he was getting beat. He was getting beat, and but he would always come back. He would cry all the time, but he would always come back. And I think like as we kept playing, he started to enjoy it a
yeah,
little bit. He enjoyed the team camaraderie aspect of it. But like your first, especially starting that late. I think he came in like sixth or seventh grade. So like
yeah,
starting that late, everybody like used to this. Like we used to like hitting and like doing stuff like that. But he was like brand new. Like had the whole arm was padded. The padded shin sleeve, the elbow pad, and the shoulder
yeah,
pad. Like he was new, but he definitely I think
So, Dar,
over time he's starting to rock a little
let's
more.
say like your girl or your wife, your mother, your child is not like it's not going for the football. Like she's not going for the football. How would you try to get over that?
I mean, I I have no idea. I mean, you got to come to like some kind of middle ground. I mean, you got to help her understand that one, you played and look how you turned out. I mean, not every
Yeah,
football story is a sad story. A lot of them are, I would say 70% of them are great stories. Not many
more than that, I
people,
would say.
yeah, more than that. And the
Yeah,
people that do get hurt, they get concussions. Even a higher percent never regret it. They wanted to do it. They were willing to make that sacrifice. I mean, it's kind of like joining the mafia, and even though people snitch in the mafia, but I mean, you when you play football or contact sports, you take a natural inherent risk that you might injure yourself. But the harder you play, the more you play, the less likely you are to get injured. And I believe that wholeheartedly. And if the kids want to play, then let them play. I mean, most kids would want to play, in my opinion, some kind of
yeah,
sport, whether it be soccer, football, as in European football or American
yeah,
football, tennis, whatever, golf. But yeah, I guess it's just trying to make it relatable to you.
yeah. And so next week, we'll kind of branch off of this, but just talking about like kids with doing the personal training thing, doing the skills training. You know, we from the era of just going out and playing and seeing if you're good or not. Now kids
You
is
good or
training
not? Yeah, you
at
play.
seeing as trainers at 6, but we'll branch on to that next week. Um, so this week in sports, we got college football coming up on that first. Ohio State, my boys, my dogs. Moment of silence. We lost to Oregon at at home at that.
At home, at the shoe.
That's for sure. Don't do that, bro. No, playing Mr. Krabs. Dar, what
Yeah,
you?
the
Yeah.
World,
Dar, what
world
you? Man, what's
finale.
going on with you?
Oregon's offensive line was shockingly just so much better than our defensive line. We did not put a good showing together in the trenches. CJ Verdell, who seems like he's been there for like 6 or 7 years, still playing for him, just had a field day. I think 180 some yards, 3 touchdowns. And the offense, they just couldn't get it going until the end of the game, until it was too little, too late. The Oregon defensive line, they did a great job of stopping the run. We couldn't run the ball at all, which takes a lot away from our offense because we always preach balance ever since we had Urban Meyer. Just disappointing overall. The shoe was rocking. I felt the energy. We had a late shot up the rail that we missed. CJ Stroud just couldn't put it on him. Maybe he had some pressure in his face, but Garrett Wilson was streaking. The most the best takeaway I can have from this game is that Iowa looks incredibly good,
Yeah,
and catching an Iowa body would be a lot for a one loss Big Ten champion if they could take down Iowa in the championship game. They got Penn State still on the board, number 10 ranked in the country. We put them in the backpack too. We still can make it. This season is far from over for the Buckeyes. This is the kind of game, take it early. It doesn't hurt you as much. Oregon looks good. They might win the Pac 12. They might not. Who knows? Washington looking like they're going to have a down year. UCLA, maybe they can make something jump, but don't count the Buckeyes out yet. Mark my fucking words.
man, that's I didn't get to catch much of the game because I was at work, but so I tuned in like on my little break, and we got that's when we got burnt for the sweep 2 times in a row, and I'm like, bro. And then it was the third and short. and he broke it right down the seam. CJ Riddell broke it right down the middle of the defense and scored the 50-yard, around 50, 60-yard touchdown. I'm like, okay, we might be in a long run. We couldn't stop the run at all. The run defense was non-existent. But like you said, um, it's good to get it out early. We still have a long way to go. Um, still have a long way to go. Still have a long season to go. Hopefully Iowa is really good when time we play them. Hopefully Oregon keeps balling because that's only going to make us, help us out. If Oregon's really good, we get a, 7-point loss to Oregon. We'll still be in good standings. We win the Big 12. So still have a lot of football to be played.
Absolutely. And for real, I watched the game. I agree with what Darv said. The trenches is what changed it for me on both sides of the ball. Oregon just looked like the superior, they had the superior front seven on both sides of the ball, which was rare to say. And Oregon was without two of their best defensive players. And so you would think that, especially along the line in the linebacker spot, that they should be able to, Ohio State should be able to run all over them, but they didn't. I will say, Olave, you can go ahead and Bolitnikoff
Oh,
him,
yeah.
man.
He's different.
Him or John Mechie the third, bro. Somebody's got to get to one of them two. For me, you can Bolitnikoff them because they both put on shows this last week. Oregon looks like the Oregon of old. Like they look like Dennis Dixon, goddamn
Uh,
Mariota,
what's that boy?
that era of when they went to the neon green.
D'Anthony.
D'Anthony Thomas, goddamn, what is LaMichael James? Yeah, LaMichael James.
Yeah.
All those that Oregon looks like that again. Which, to Cristobal's credit, that's something that we hadn't seen in a long time out of that program. So to have them firing on cylinders on both sides of the ball again, Oregon is going to be a contender this year. I think they do walk through the Pac-12. It's going to be theirs to lose, that's for sure. And could we see an undefeated Pac-12 team squeak into the college football playoff? That'll be something that we just got to watch because it's anybody's. I do think a one-loss Big Ten team probably has more leverage than an undefeated Pac-12 team. But at the end of the day, especially with USC, what happened to them? It's just kind of like whatever happens out there just happens. But it's all going to be. It'll be down to the wire, but Ohio State ain't out of it yet.
Yeah. So speaking of so we got Texas. They go to Arkansas and get smacked
Yes.
by Arkansas. Boy, they first tasted that SEC that they want to join so bad, and it was bad. It was bad. Braxton, what's your takeaway from that game?
Man, what's that Drake song? It was on the album Poppy's Home, whatever he's talking about. That's exactly what Arkansas said to Texas. Like, this is what you want, come and get it. And you have to look at it this way. Arkansas has not been competitive for an SEC championship in decades. Like, they are the middle of the pack. I won't go bottom of the barrel because I still think Vanderbilt is down there, and above Vanderbilt, I'll go Mizzou hasn't done much since they've got over there. A&M is above them, but this is something that Arkansas has done a damn thing since McFadden was there, and that was how long we were in middle school, like elementary probably.
Yeah,
like,
that was a long time ago.
and this is a bottom of the barrel SEC team. This isn't a Florida. This isn't a Georgia. This isn't an Alabama. This isn't a goddamn anybody. This isn't the SEC East at all. Like, dog, this is Arkansas. But y'all want it so bad, okay? Let them boosters get your ass beat every year. Then you'll be like, oh shit, we had it good over there. We might have to go and
This
get
is
our open back.
Arkansas.
I don't know. This is man. It'll be interesting to see what they do. Obviously, when they do run through the Big 12, join the Big 12, it'll be different. This isn't even a Tennessee. Like, can we be honest about that? Like, I had to throw that in there too. Like, I don't know. They got smacked, got embarrassed. Sarkisian, if he wants to be around to see that SEC merger, he can't lose like that no more. He's gonna be back under Saban at OC, waiting for the next head gig to open up.
Back in rehab, right?
The Nick Saban coaching rehab, come get right, win a ring, and then we're gonna bounce you back out.
Yeah, get paid.
Get paid, exactly.
Darby, you got anything you want to add to that game? Or
If you guys watched last week's episode, my dad is super high on Texas, and he made me a bet on the Red River rivalry. But as soon as I saw this, I immediately texted him the screenshot of the final score. Um, Arkansas ran all over them. They didn't have any passing touchdowns. They passed for under 150 yards. I think it was 139 grand total passing yards. The guy threw an interception, but they ran the ball from the first quarter to the last quarter all over Texas. I think Texas scored I think ultimately they scored 21, but I think 14 came in the fourth quarter. They didn't move the ball. They weren't impressive at all. This just makes me even more confident that they will not be good in the SEC. I will win my $20 against my dad, and that Texas will be looking for a new coach here in the next 2 or 3 years, just like they always are. If Texas wants my advice, which they don't, who the fuck am I? But stay in the Big 12. Let Oklahoma go to the SEC and just run the Big 12. You guys can take that same playoff spot that Oklahoma's been getting these last, every other year that they've been getting it, and that could be y'all. Play it smart, Texas, but you won't, and you will
So,
fail.
man, we got another. Florida State came and played great against Notre Dame. They must have played too high, cause boy. If y'all ain't seen it, see, I'm gonna start getting highlights. I'm gonna start putting the highlight reel for some of these clips and start screen sharing because if y'all ain't seen the clip from Jacksonville State and Florida State, the end of the game, the Hail Mary, you need to go watch it. You're not even really a Hail Mary, just a go route, caught the ball. After he catch it, bro, it didn't even look like the Florida State defenders wanted to tackle. They went right by him. He was just reaching out, arm tackling, and he ran right in the end zone, scored. Braxton, I'll let you tell what you seen after.
So first of all, that play. If you've ever heard of the Outcast anthem, B.O.B. bombs over Baghdad, on the last play of the game, if you look, they dropped so many men into coverage. They should not have allowed this touchdown. But dude, literally, one routed up a corner and a safety, got on the inside, and he was like, "See ya." Caught him over, fell in it. How do you get and then fell in the end zone? You should have had 8 people at the goal line if this is what you wanted to do. Like it would have been better to have some schoolyard bullshit, 8 laterals, 4 fumbles, and then the offensive guard picks it up and runs 20 yards to the end zone. That would have been better than what happened to Florida State. But that just goes to show you, you let your guard down for a split second, and the team that you paid $400,000 to come into your house is going to take your check. They're going to do whatever they want to do in your crib, and they're going to leave after the game. Crazy enough, and I feel bad for my man. Offensive lineman from Florida State, and I'm sure he probably had both sides of the family there. His family flew into town. He probably had her family. They probably had the engagement party at the crib ready to go after the game. Is on a knee proposing to his girl. Now, y'all know me. I'm like 80% pimp, 20% simp. So to me, I'm like, God damn. I'm like, my boy, like, congrats. Like, I'm happy for you. But in some of the pictures, you can see the Jacksonville team celebrating while he is on a knee. I'm like, boy, if your teammates don't goddamn, if they don't like do bull in the ring, yeah, y'all play football, you know what that is. If they don't just bull in the ring your dumb ass for the next 30 minutes at practice, then I don't know what the hell to do. But congratulations on the happy marriage. I hope they're happy and live happily ever after. Florida State,
Man,
great showing, but then they lost it.
How are you happy enough to propose to your soon to be wife after that shit happened? You just lost to Jacksonville State, and you're happy enough to propose.
I couldn't.
To propose,
I couldn't do
she
it.
should have said no, because you have no pride. You have no pride.
Hey.
If you can propose to somebody after that, you have no pride.
Hey.
That is crazy.
I'd have been like, hey, we're going to reschedule. I'll rebook the tickets. Tell the caterers I'll refund everything. I'm not going out like this. I refuse. I refuse to go out like this, bro.
Now that NIL will have to come in nicely and pay for something else.
Man,
Cause
go ahead and get that Raising Cane's deal. Y'all can come back. Whatever food we had, don't worry about it. I got a deal. They'll bring 100 tenders to the
right,
crib, all the sauce you need. We're not doing this tonight, bro. We're not. We're not.
right. Braxton, I know you want to run down a couple games. What's the word with K State?
Man, so we're gonna keep it in state for me. One, I'm gonna start with the Jayhawks. KU in game 2 under Lance Leipold, man. The dudes look better than any game they played against Les Miles, including the game where they almost beat Texas. I don't know what they got in the water over there in Lawrence, but it's starting to work. Like, you know how when you pour the shit, some powder shit in the water, and it starts to like take over, and you can't drink it because you got to shake it up.
Bubble.
It starts to fizz a little bit.
Yeah.
You still got to shake it up for some years in Lawrence to see if it's actually going to taste right. Add some sugar because you don't know what's been in it before. But they look okay. Jason Bean, their quarterback, hey, he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he was getting out of there.
Yeah, he had to, and that offensive line is going to get him killed in Big 12 play. But in non-con, dude has been balling. I bring him up to go across the line to Manhattan. But for the second year in a row, Skylar Thompson,
Emaw.
everybody's favorite quarterback, has now sustained an injury originally thought to be season-ending. It was non-contact, but they came up the last few days. Kleiman actually went on a press conference today, said he's not going to be season-ending. He'll be able to come back. So that's good news for K-State. My issue is Chris Kleiman spent the entire offseason talking about how Will Howard was the best backup quarterback in the country. I don't know if y'all watched the K-State game, but K-State had 4 turnovers in the first half. One of those was a pick six thrown by Will Howard that I could have caught, that anybody on this podcast could have caught and walked in. It wasn't like a good break on the ball. It wasn't like he didn't look off the safety long enough. It was dog, bookhouse. That's you? Damn, that's 6 points. Shit. That is what we got. And if you're a K-State fan, you watched last year, and Will Howard took over early for Skylar Thompson after he went out. Skylar Thompson's gone down in the second game of the last 2 seasons. Last year was a shoulder injury, couldn't come back. This year, the knee. Everybody felt bad because this is a dude's 6th year. He's been Mr. K-State. Everybody loves him. But to go down like that, it sucks for him. So I really stopped watching the game because it was like you just felt so bad for the dude because he like literally put life on pause to come back and try to play football one more year.
Yeah.
He's not an NFL dude by any stretch of the imagination to me, but he is a serviceable K-State quarterback, which we don't really have right now. Will Howard just ain't it, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know what to do. I'm just an alum watching. I don't know the program like Kleiman and those dudes. I'm not going to pretend to. But this is bad, and I think it goes back to K-State didn't recruit quarterbacks. They got Jake Rubley, a 4-star out of Colorado, who was a true freshman this year, lost his senior year of football due to COVID in high school. He's been on campus since January. They think he's the future. The highest rated quarterback K-State's had in a really, really long time, probably ever. They talk about do you burn his red shirt and put him out there? I'm like, y'all want to put a 19-year-old kid out against Oklahoma's defense?
No.
Good luck. So I'm saying you hold them. K-State, it'll be interesting to see what they do. They want to get to a bowl game again. I don't know if Will Howard's the answer. Hopefully Skylar Thompson is back in a knee brace sooner rather than later. But right now it's trouble in Manhattan.
What's Emaw stand for?
Every man a Wildcat.
Okay.
That was before I got there. I don't know, dog.
Anyway.
They do a lot of weird things out there. Trust me.
I'm just asking. I've been out there a couple of times. Fake patties? Fake patties is
Now, come on.
Yeah.
Now, come on. Fake patties is done right.
Got
Yeah?
that.
Fake patties is no more.
Fake patties is no more.
No, man.
What happened?
All the bars didn't want to have it. So, like, people still have house parties and stuff, but, like, the bars used to have, like, the wristbands. You could come in, they used to have, like, food all day, drink all day.
Yeah.
The bar district in Aggieville didn't want the event anymore. So, fake patties, as we know it, is dead and gone.
Sick. The Q house was popping.
Crazy world.
Get some chicken.
You got the chicken and the oil.
Right.
Gotta prep to go into that chicken, boy. I don't want to talk about that. Everybody had a good time.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta make sacrifices, man. But Darby, you want any other games you want to chime in on college football?
Texas A&M had a close scare with Colorado. They ended up pulling out, I think, 10-7. Be on the lookout for them to lose some more SEC games. And Iowa, they throw them hard bitches. So if your team is playing against them, please be careful.
Oh, them hard bitches. Oh,
But it made
dude.
They
Brees.
throw them hard
But it
bitches.
made Brees Hall fumble. Look, I ain't seen Brees
Yes.
Hall fumble since high school, and that was rare.
And that was like the second one that they had picked up and
And
ran
swoop to
into
the
the end
crib,
zone.
man. And that's another man. Like Brock Purdy. Hey man, I
They,
don't know how he still got a job,
yeah,
but Matt Campbell knows something I don't.
Not looking
He knows a
good.
lot that I don't. So
yeah. So,
He holding
hold
on.
on.
oh,
Man, so first week of NFL football was everything you expected, man. Everything I
mm.
expected, at least. Thursday night was a great game. Sunday night, yeah, Bears and Rams. It was cool,
Twisted.
but
Oh,
yeah,
Sunday night,
yeah.
not Monday
No,
night. My
Monday
bad.
night game, crazy. Um,
Monday night was drunk.
Dar, what's some of your takeaways from the first week? What's some of the games highlighted? Some of the things that happened that really stood out to you?
I was shocked by how good the Cowboys were able to move the ball. Shout out to you if you drafted anybody other than the name Ezekiel Elliott.
CD balled out.
But I was also so CD, Coop Dog, even Gallup had a pretty solid game. Dak was the big winner. I think he had almost a 30 ball in fantasy. But they managed to lose the game somehow, some way. Um, Secondly, I'll go straight into it. NFC lease. Sorry to the Philadelphia Eagles fans, the franchise, and Jalen Hurts. I completely dismissed you guys, and I apologize. You made me eat my words right here in front of all the people that are watching this and in front of my two co-hosts. Jalen Hurts balled out, and I will pat myself on the back because I said Devontae Smith would be great. All Alabama receivers are always great. He can be as skinny as he wants, but he knows how to play and get open. The Monday night game was
Yeah, let's talk
incredible.
about that as a group.
I am not sure. Okay. I'll go. I'll say the Chiefs and the Browns. Browns fans, so close but yet so far away. Patrick Mahomes is. He has no facial hair. Oh, I guess he got a little bit of facial hair. He has a high pitched voice, but he takes people's hopes and dreams away. He just snatches them right out of their freaking beating hearts, and he is so good, so entertaining, so fun to watch every week. Travis Kelce, he cut the facial hair. Who gives a fuck? He's still a dog. Looks weird. But Vikings, sad days. I'll talk the Vikings as my last team. Vikings versus Bengals. Sad days for the Vikings. We're in for a tough season. We might get have one of those years where we get one of those super high draft picks and we can take a quarterback that changes our lives. Dalvin Cook is still a beast, and I'll pat myself on the back one more time because I said the Jamar Chase pick was
He
the pick
did.
to make.
Man,
Jamar Chase,
yeah.
I don't know if he can't see. I don't know if he's out of shape or whether he's
He
not
looked
ready for the
good.
NFL, but he made Patrick Peterson look ridiculous. And he's been in the league for I don't know how long. Jamar Chase, if you have him in fantasy, fire me up now.
So, man, Chiefs game was a crazy game too. That was a good game. Rex, I know you're gonna want to talk about that game, so I'm gonna leave that to you. Um,
Yeah.
so, I was talking about the Colts. Russell Wilson was feeling dangerous because for and Tyler Lockett, we talk about Email, they ran it up. And the thing of we the
Emo.
thing the what I took from the game most is like our defense, our offensive line is going to have to come get better next week because Carson Wentz was. It looked like he was playing with the Philadelphia Eagles again with that offensive line. I mean, the Seahawks don't have any notable pass rushers, but Carlos Dunlap and everybody was getting to the quarterback. They couldn't protect him. We had some stuff like first half. It was ugly, but we started to get some stops. We got some fumbles. We got the ball in the red zone a couple times. We went for it on fourth down when we didn't need to a couple times. It was all like the score really doesn't tell how close of a game it really was. We just couldn't get going on nothing going on offense. Couldn't capitalize. Carson Wentz didn't have enough time to actually look downfield and make a play. So, but the Seahawks look good. Like, I've been kind of sleeping on the Seahawks. A lot of people have been sleeping on the Seahawks, but Russell Wilson does this every year. He comes out hot. Week 10, we'll see if he's still hot. We'll see if he's still hot week 11, week 12. So, who else? Let's talk about the Packers. Did they get off the plane? What happened with them? Aaron Rodgers looked terrible. He had 3 points in fantasy. Looked god awful. Bro, he literally stood on the goal line, looked up, whipped his hair, and said, "Fuck it," and just launched that bitch 60 yards.
On me.
Like, he had Jameis out there looking like the next coming.
Buck.
Like, but with the Jameis thing, their defense, the Saints defense, was putting them in great situations. He had 5 touchdowns, but he only threw for he didn't even throw for 200 yards. He only threw for 150.
Yeah,
he only threw for 150 yards. So that's really all game plan and your defense putting you in great situations. So I don't want to overreact. It's easy to overreact first game of the season. I think the Packers will be okay. I think they'll be okay. They'll work out the kinks. But that was an ugly first showing. If it looked like that again in a couple more weeks, Aaron Rodgers might sit it out and just wait for the next season, see where he's going next. Because for this to be a last dance,
man,
I don't know what dance they doing, but I don't want to be no parts of it.
Yeah, they got a bad song on the first dance.
They got the Macarena instead of Cha Cha Slide.
Yes.
But and then I'm gonna talk about. I told y'all about that Titans defense.
Yes, same.
I was about to go there. Go ahead. I was going on the other side. You got it.
Chandler Jones.
Hey,
5
it's
sacks.
my money and I need it
Bro,
now.
he had what? Bro, I played left tackle. Ain't no man ever gonna make me get on Twitter and say I played bad and I need to step up.
Thank you for exposing me. Where's your pride, young man?
He gave a public apology. He beat his ass so bad he gave a public apology.
You took food out your kid's mouth, and you're on Twitter. No, you need to be in the film room, my guy. No.
Yeah, but then they had Julio else. Cardinals look good.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I don't want to overreact once again, but the Cardinals look good. Kyler Murray looks like an early MVP candidate. After that, Julio has some catch. Not Julio. D Hop has some crazy catches as always.
Move.
And Kyler, when he was moving around in that back of that pocket, it's like a joystick. It's crazy. So those are 3 games that really stick out to me. Of course, there's more. We can cover some more. But those 3 performances right there is what really stick out to me.
Man, for me, I'll start with that Chiefs-Browns game. One, because I might need to walk back who is going to be in the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs, because the Bills, it didn't look good. They could come back, but the way Pittsburgh played them, boy, I don't know. I will say this about the Chiefs, man. It was week 1 against one of the best front sevens, at least the front line, that this new offensive line will see for a long time. 2 number 1 overall picks, one who's still arguably the best at his position right now. You're not going to play a better front, a more tenacious front than that for a long time. You have the Ravens this week. They can't get past the Gators up in South Lake. So I don't know exactly what to expect out of this line. They got beat up. Pat Mahomes took 2 sacks. He also got hit down the field a little bit because he was running the ball.
Hmm.
But like Darv said, and I told myself when they went into halftime, it was 22-10, and I started to tweet it, but I didn't. I was like, if there's anything I've learned about this Chiefs team is that you never count them out. I did tweet, and
Never.
it is on the World Wide Web. I said this game is going to come down to a turnover. It's going to be a shootout, but whoever blinks first, I think it's Cleveland, is going to lose, and that's what happened. This Cleveland rushing attack on the offensive line made the Chiefs look awful. I don't know if you saw Nick Chubb's second touchdown of the game, but I could have, when my granny was still here, she had to walk her. God bless her soul. She could have scored a touchdown. That's how big that damn hole was. And part of that is because one, the Chiefs were without a lot of players. Willie Gay was out. He's on IR with the neck injury. He'll be back after week 3. Tyrann Mathieu was in COVID protocol all week, so he didn't play. Tyrann Mathieu is the heartbeat of that defense, and you could tell they looked lost without him because dudes didn't know where to be. They were missing tackles. It just wasn't it. And then Frank Clark, we don't know if Frank Clark's going to play this year. They say it's a hamstring injury. I think they're waiting to see what his plea deal is going to be because it's not looking too good
If he's still
for
playing
them
GTA.
if he's still right. So,
Get the get, 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 get the get.
so I don't know what they're going to do, but again, that offense, there's not a better unit offensively right now in the National Football League than the Chiefs, and that is with only one receiver really stepping up. I don't really count Travis Kelce when I talk about receivers. McCole Hardman, Demarcus Robinson, and Byron Pringle, whoever is supposed to step up for Sammy Watkins this year, didn't. And in week 1, it's week 1, so hopefully they'll know that they need to step up. But this was all Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, which is it will work because it is your bread and butter, but you can't rely on it every game because teams are going to start to scheme for it. So
Yeah, I
Chiefs
was
are
gonna ask
good.
you that. Do you think I mean they were so heavily targeted, Kelsey and Tyreek Hill, they ain't use nobody else. Is that gonna be able to last for the whole season or somebody else gonna have to step up?
I don't think it'll last, and I don't think that it was the intention to. I think they just had to. The three of them probably said, "Hey, if we don't win this game, it's going to be us. Somebody has to make a play. I'm going to throw it. You go catch it." Tyreek Hill is one of the best receivers in the NFL when it comes to adjusting to a ball, whether it's coming back, switching shoulders to be able to make a catch. And that's what he did on that 75-yard one. Like, that one was like one that if the DB had played it right, it should have been a pick. But
Right.
he didn't. And Tyreek Hill slipped up under him, and you're not going to catch him in the foot race. But I do think that the Chiefs are going to start to design more plays to get McCole Hardman the ball early and just let him use his speed around the edge, make guys miss. I can see that for a lot of guys. So I think that there's a number of things. We didn't see any too crazy trick plays. I'm sure they got them all. We didn't see that 4 tight end personnel that I'm sure that they're ready to run whenever the situation calls for it. So I think they're going to be fine. Scheme wise, they're not going to run this issue again. They just have to have other guys step up. Another one, I want to leave off with Grayson on the Cardinals. Every year, I try hard not to expose people on Twitter for arguing with me that's saying that Kyler Murray should have been a baseball player. I don't know what game that they watched when he was at Oklahoma. I don't know what games they're watching now. One dude went on to tweet a picture of Kyler Murray. It was like a little person, Kyler Murray, with a jersey next to Goodell standing on a stool. And every year I want to pull these tweets out because they work in sports media and they know what they're talking about. And I just want to pull them out every year and say, dog, is this you? Like, look at what he's doing. I said it when we did our picks. Kyler Murray's taking the next step. And I think he's doing it now. I think he showed that not only with the way he is able to create. We talk a lot about Patrick Mahomes extending the play. Kyler Murray's learning that as well on the fly. And when you got a guy like Nuke down there who is going to catch a ball back to the basket, post up, and then say, I'm just gonna score, boom, and cut out and make the defender look silly, you're gonna be in trouble. So I like what the Cardinals are doing. If you said Kyler Murray should have played baseball instead of football, you don't know what you're talking about. You're foolish. You should apologize because you played yourself. My last one I'm gonna go to is the Rams. Matt Stafford. I don't know if this is a second coming, if he just wanted out of Detroit all along. But it was the first drive of the game. He was rolling out, throwing 75-yard bombs over the top. Like, Matt Stafford looks comfy in LA.
Right.
And in the offense with Sean McVay, like they're gonna dial up plays like that a lot because they have the guys that do it. Woods, Cooper Cup, those dudes aren't slouches by any stretch of the imagination. Their running back situation is still a little iffy after the early injuries, but you have to like what you saw. If you're a Rams fan or if you've been paying attention to anything in that division, the Rams are gonna be up there. I think the
Yeah.
defense got a little exposed early, but then Jalen Ramsey finally got comfortable and made a lot of plays. And of course, Aaron Donald's going to get quadruple teamed if they could. So, which honestly freed up a lot of other guys to make plays. So I like the Rams. They might be a sleeper. We talked that division is going to be crazy, and we talked about it before. That being the most competitive division in football, I think it's going to be a race to the finish to see who actually comes out on top.
Yeah, everybody in Division One, they 4-0. Um,
Yep.
so yeah, with the Rams, they just didn't like. There was no run game. Like there was no run game there, but they didn't need it. They didn't need it.
They were so efficient. I think Matthew Stafford threw the ball 26 times and had 3 touchdowns and almost 300
Yeah,
yards. I mean, they were just it was just well-oiled machine. It looked like it was a match made in heaven, but we'll see.
yeah, it's a long season, longer than usual. So, um,
16 more.
Yeah.
16 more.
man, so let's talk about the Monday night game because Monday night was crazy.
Hold, please. Y'all go ahead.
Man, look, Derek Carr came out shaky to begin with, but second half he really stepped it up. He was looking elite. I'm not gonna lie, he looked good. Darren Waller with 19 targets. Like, bro, they was feeding him, trying to feed him.
Probably should have had more.
Right.
Yeah, probably should have had more.
The game got you drinking.
That game was drunk.
What?
Might as well act like the game. The game was stupid, boy.
Crazy. Um,
Stupid.
and I'll get to that later. But man, what that game was so crazy. There's just so much you could really say about it. Honestly, Lamar Jackson. I seen some stats earlier. Lamar Jackson contributed to like 70% of that offensive yards. Backpacking, trying to backpack his team to a victory. Two costly fumbles though. Um, what was they doing on that last play? That all-out blitz. Marlon Humphreys was beat like a drum. Crazy ending.
Beat.
And then that ball that went right through Willie Snead hand hit Buddy helmet and was picked off. I'm like, what else could happen?
And the crazy thing is Lamar took as any quarterback, he took the blame after the game. Lamar said, "That's on me." I was like, normally, because every time they play the Chiefs and I watch them, they are on Lamar. I will give him that. He's wet the bed a few times against Patrick Mahomes and the
Yeah.
boys. But that game in the Death Star, the big black thing, hockey puck in the middle of Vegas, Lamar should have been like, either y'all going to extend me and I want Patrick Mahomes' money, get me a new offensive line and new receivers, or I'm out of here. Because that what they put on the field, honestly, if Harbaugh makes it through this season, I will be surprised.
The last play when I watched it real time, the Ravens last play, I didn't realize until Ryan Clark on ESPN eloquently pointed out that Carl Nassib was literally bucket ass naked. No one put a fucking
Boy
hand.
naked.
No one put a hand on this man, and he teed off. And I said it at the time. He hit Lamar Jackson's ass hard as hell. And as a guy who is has Lamar Jackson on his fantasy team, all I can see is the negatives. He was 70% of their offense and got me 18 total points. A lot of that had to do with the 2 fumbles, which were costly. But both teams were trying to choke this game away, especially the Raiders. I thought it was definitely over in real time. I thought he extended, got the touchdown. I'm thinking
Yeah.
the game was over. He was 100% short. He was an inch short of the line. Anybody who said that was a touchdown is lost. That was not a touchdown. And then for them to call the quarterback sneak, gets stuffed, and then on second down the man jumps off sides. What? That kind of stuff doesn't. The
The
rookie,
rookie.
exactly. That kind of stuff just doesn't happen in the NFL. You think, well, it does, but you just would think it wouldn't. But when he jumped off
Yeah.
sides, I couldn't believe it. Then on third down or the next down, they replay second down. They sell it out the back of the end zone, throwing it away. Then on third down, Willie Snead, the fourth, I believe, ball sails straight through his hand, slams off the front of the guy's face mask. I don't know how it slams off the front of the face mask, bounces up into the air into somebody else's arms. Crazy, crazy, crazy game. But great kick at the end to seal it. Lamar, I would have loved to see him go down there and score. Not to say it would have made a difference on my fantasy team. I was getting slaughtered by at least 40 by that point. But just a wild game. Monday Night Football. Welcome back, football. Love to see it.
Man, the crazy thing about it is, like you said, I thought the game was over. Like you don't, I feel like you don't know what type of mental toughness it takes for everybody thinks the game was over. Everybody's shaking hands. Everybody, is trying to wrap it up. Lamar Jackson, Derek Carr was meeting in the middle, swapping jerseys and shit. And the defense got to go back out there and they get a stop. That shit that's so crazy to me. And it's crazy that the Raiders really blew it. Like they should have scored on the next play and really ended it, because everybody thought the game was over anyways. I was thinking myself like, oh, this is over. Like this game is over anyways. Even though if they didn't score on that touchdown, it's over. Like their mental capacity to play the game is probably done, but didn't happen. It just didn't happen.
I was getting ready for the tie myself. I'm like, what is a scenario where these teams are 0
Right.
0-1? Like I was like, that's what this is about to turn into. But Derek Carr said, Zay Jones, I said if I'm
So
Derek Carr, he should have hit the strip last night. He had everything thrown his way.
he that's a great first win for the Raiders. Let's see if but they came out good last year, so we'll see if they can be consistent. That's it. Can they be consistent? That defensive line, Max Crosby, he was looking like the best pass rusher not named
Mad
Chandler Jones.
Max.
He was balling up
Yes,
Lamar.
he was. Mad Max
So
for sure.
the crazy thing is like him and Colin Farrell was drafted the same draft. He was drafted in the third round. Colin Farrell was drafted number 4 overall. Colin Farrell was a healthy scratch.
Mm.
He was able to
And
play.
didn't.
He just did.
He was available.
Right, he was available. They just they ain't having a. Ooh, that's bad. But man, all right. So week 1 wrapping up. Is there any takes from the previous episode? This is your last chance, last opportunity to fix your takes. What is there anything you want to walk back? I, I'm walking 2 back. I'll walk 1 back. I'll let the other one settle. I'm jumping off of the Ravens bandwagon. I'm jumping off. I can't. They're not winning the division. There's too much. It's too much on Lamar's back. If he plays like this the whole season, I hope he can stay healthy, because he had to do every little thing for them to even be in that game. So yeah, Ravens. I hope you have a good season, but I won't be going for you. So have fun. The other one I was going to walk back is the Saints. I don't want to overreact, so I'm gonna let it breathe. I'm gonna see how they look, in the next couple of weeks. So, but I'm gonna stand on my Saints take.
the
Baltimore, I'm
the
good on
thing
them.
about the Saints is that the Packers are not as bad as they showed, but I think the Saints defense is every bit as good as they showed. Um,
Yeah, I just don't think that offense is as good as efficient as it was. They just
Yeah.
don't have the
Yep.
weapons.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have. So once like I just it was a bad week, and it was a really good week for one team. It was a really bad week for one team, another team, and it's never going to be that. It's never going to be that good, and it'll probably never be that bad again. So we'll see how the rest of the season goes on.
Um,
So that's the one I'm walking
I
back.
talked about
Be more.
the Eagles already. The Eagles, good for them. I'm happy for Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith connection, kind of like the Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I liked how that draft scenario kind of unfolded for a few teams. Second, well, walk back, I would say, would just be the Eagles. I thought I was pretty comfortable everywhere else. The Steelers, Bills, um, don't let them block the kick, man. You can't have that kind of play. If that doesn't
Yeah,
happen, they win the game. That play, they kick the ball all
there's
the
a
time.
yeah.
You just can't let them block it and scoop it and take it for a touchdown. So I'm pretty good everywhere.
There's a lot of miscalculations on the kicking on the punts. That's especially with the Browns game too. That's what cost them the game.
Yes,
So it's not good for the brand,
three.
as Pat McAfee would say.
Yes, three phases of football: offense, defense, and special teams.
Man, for me, I don't know if I need to walk back. I will say I was incorrect in. I thought that the Bengals should have done a little bit more to help Joey B in terms of protection, but that Jamar Chase pick looks like it's working out to perfection, especially after AJ Green's out of there. So it looks like that they picked up where they left off. So that's good to see. This the Packer. I'm not ready to walk back the Packers just yet out of the NFC
Oh,
North.
me neither. Me neither.
I don't see them doing that again. I think all right, they have a come like yo, like this what y'all want to do, or what are we gonna do? They have that come to Jesus moment. Everybody's like yo, like I don't have to be here. You know, I'm paid. I got Shailene Willie at the crib. Like I don't have to be here. But then
Yeah.
they turn it around. I
Don't overreact. Don't
think
overreact with the
no, I
Packers.
think
Yeah.
not with the Packers, no, but
Yeah.
I think well, one thing I will walk back. I'm going to take the Bills out as the AFC Championship opponent against the Chiefs after their Week 1 showing, but I'm leaving it blank because I still do like them or the Browns to be able to be there. I was solid on the Bills being the team to go against the Chiefs for the second year in a row. Now I am more so looking at what the Browns do next week and what the Bills do next week. Obviously, I still am pretty high on the Browns. They didn't even have OBJ last Sunday, so the difference that he could make, not even saying if it's him catching the ball, but he does present a matchup problem. You have to scheme for him. You have to think about him being on the field.
Yeah.
Jarvis Landry looked good, scored a touchdown on the ground, caught a few passes. And that two-headed monster in the backfield. It's going to come down to Baker Mayfield, who up until the last drive of the game looked really good. Like, and I think I got a lot of flack on Chiefs Twitter because I kept saying Baker Mayfield looks like a number one overall pick. Baker Mayfield really outdueled Patrick Mahomes, save one throw and the win. So I'm still high on them. I still think Patrick Mahomes is a bad man, best in the league right now. That's not named Thomas Eldridge, whatever his middle name Brady is, this first.
Thomas Edward
Um,
Patrick Brady.
so, see that
Why he
man,
got
his
wait,
name's
wait,
in his
wait.
name.
Why he got four first names? You can't trust him.
Why are you not? Why are you surprised? That's the thing. I don't. Hey, but I will say I will walk that one back. I'm not sure who's going to see the Chiefs in the AFC title game, but I do know the Chiefs are going to be there at Arrowhead. It's going to be rocking.
The
All right,
Falcons
that's
may be the worst team in the NFL. I'm sorry I had to say that. They look trash. If you have Calvin Ridley, you are in danger.
If
Danger.
you have if you have Kyle Pitts,
You
who's not in the game
you
on
are
third and
in
goal from
danger.
the
Danger.
3 yard line, why did you draft the tight end if he's
If
not in the
you
game on the
drafted
three
Kyle
yard
Pitts
line?
high, you are in trouble.
man.
I'm in danger. Yes, it wasn't high, but I definitely drafted Kyle Pitts. Like yeah.
Man, So that's the last chance to walk something back. From here on out, it is what it is. You stand on
Yeah,
what
you
you
got to see it
stand
through, my
on.
boy.
So I'm, I'm off B more. Have fun, Los. Have
Who,
fun.
who who's your replacement for B More?
Browns in the division. Uh,
Yes.
the Steelers look good though. They look. And I'm not like I can't really say they look good because they didn't really do shit. I mean, their defense balled out and they had good special teams. Offense they still couldn't run the ball. Their offensive line still couldn't. They still couldn't run the ball. So it's still a lot of the same. Um, the defense showed up though, as usual, as I expected. So Mike Tomlin's a great coach. They'll win games, but the Browns are just better. I like Stefanski too. So um, man, crazy week though. Hopefully we can get on the winning side. Hopefully I can get on the winning side.
Yes. Me too. Me too. I was over in fantasy, over college, over NFL. Hopefully, and then I was over with Russell Westbrook. In that dress or skirt that he posted with the Lakers. So I was.
Hey, I ain't even like Nets in three, but I'm not even. The thing about that, the outfit is you want to wear a skirt. I'm cool. Like that's you, brother. It's not me, it's you. So wear what you want. But you wearing a cream. You got a cream cardigan on, a white a, a white skirt, and some black combat boots.
with blue hair.
That fit is just bad and put together. I didn't care if it was white jeans. That fit would still be bad. The skirt just make it worse. I mean, and it's not even that. It was the type of the skirt. That shit was a low sitting skirt.
Yes.
It was see
Yes.
through, goddamn. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thug did it better.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, so what's going? What else is going on, man? What else can we talk about before we get off here, man?
Um.
Man, the USC job is
Mm.
open after 2
Hey, the
games.
rumor said that Urban Meyer might go to it. It might be Urban Meyer's job.
Oh, man.
I hope he doesn't
Because
do
it's not
that.
working in
I
Jacksonville.
hope he doesn't do
It's
that.
not working in Jacksonville. Bro, Skip Bayless said, hey, the Jags could use Tebow.
Oh
I was like, come
God.
He
on,
need to
man.
cut it out. Yeah, he need to cut it out for
He
sure.
had to cut
Hey,
it.
Tyrod looked good though. Shout out Tyrod. Definitely battled a lot of
Man,
adversity. He came through, was waiting for this moment. It went crazy.
bro, last year, bro lost the job because the team doctor messed him up. Like, he was the starter. And then the team doctor, like, what did he do, punctured
Punctured
his
his
lung or
lung.
something? Like, he
Yes.
was giving him
Yeah.
a shot before. How? If I'm talking, I'm like, dog, I'm pissed. One, y'all got to pay me too. And, like, what is this doctor on? But now he's back in Houston. The Deshaun Watson saga is still there. Um, Washington needs a
Yeah.
quarterback.
Ooh, Washington.
Washington needs a
Oh
quarterback.
yeah, like we said off camera, like that would be a perfect spot for Cam if he was vaccinated. Because Ron Rivera not going for that non-vaccinated stuff. But Washington with Cam, I like that. I don't know with Taylor Heineke. I don't like that one.
Man, all I'm saying is you got scary Terry McLaurin making plays on his back, man, through the defender's
Out of
hands. You
the.
can't waste that. You can't waste
Yeah.
that, man.
I guess we can talk about Cam. Cam a little bit. His sit down interview. Really saying because on the episode I was saying like maybe him and Bill Belichick he wanted to get released just so he could get started on new free agency, but he said he was surprised by getting released. He said this would happen either anyway if he didn't miss those 5 days. He was kind of blindsided, which I was surprised when listening to it. I was really surprised. Man, crazy how it's a business, It's crazy how it works though. Um, they used Cam like they did Cam. They treated him like a used car. They smoked cigarettes in it. They ashed in it. They had smoke sessions in it. Left the guts in the car, and just let them be and bought the new Benz off the truck off the
The boy
lot.
got the Carvana.
So
order that bitch online. Had that bitch sent to the crib.
The three-wheel motion.
Right. That's crazy though.
Yeah, it's.
I felt a lot like Cam did, blindsided ultimately. I didn't see it coming. I don't think any of us saw it coming. But I'm glad they were able to put some on wax, get his uh, opinion out there, get his thoughts out there.
Right.
And the biggest takeaway that I took away from it was that Cam was willing to be a backup.
Right.
If that's not an excuse for an NFL team to say that that's why he's not on the NFL roster, because he's not willing to be a backup. He said he was. His dad was pretty shocked by that. It's probably some other people that'll be pretty shocked by that, but Cam is an NFL player. There's not another job he can go to that will give him the same thrill, the same satisfaction of waking up every day, going to the locker room, talking with the fellas, playing football, a child's game ultimately that everyone that plays it has probably enjoyed at some point or another. So hopefully he can get back in the league. Some team, hopefully he can get vaccinated. Him and his dad were pretty against that, so I don't know if that'll happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's the perfect marriage. If you're Cam, there is that issue of the vaccination. One thing that was weird to me, and I don't really know, it was the aura comment. Like I'm not a. It was gonna bother Mac Jones, and I feel like Cam Newton forgot that the quarterback room that Mac Jones was in that has two other NFL starters in it now in college, where Mac Jones was not the starter and had to wait until Tua got hurt and then fell into the situation. But he had already been there for 3 or 4 years behind Jalen, who was behind Jalen, who was behind Tua, who was behind Jalen. They flipped, and then Jalen dipped, and then Tua stepped in, and then he was the backup, and then ultimately waited his turn to be the backup. So, if anything, I think that's more of a me. I'm talking about Mac Jones himself. Like, I don't think Mac was scared of Cam as being a backup. Like, okay, push me to be better. I've played with dudes who are good too, and maybe it was a different level. Cam Newton, we forget Cam Newton was an MVP in this league. Cam Newton was a Super Bowl playing quarterback. Got his ass beat that Super Bowl, but he was there. So that kind of threw me off. The whole or would have bothered Mac. I was like, I don't think so. Like, I think it would have bothered you that you were the backup and you were more boisterous than this lame, for lack of better terms. Mac Jones doesn't look like he's selling bean pies to his press conference. He's just like, oh, let's talk about football. I don't know if y'all seen the video. Mac Jones is basically like Bill Belichick reincarnated. When they tried to give him the football, the spike on his first touchdown pass, he was like, none of that really matters. This is football. I'm like, Mac, what's happened to you? Like, I want to go and flash a camera. Like, are you sure you're good? Let me get my flashlight on you, my boy. Like, snap out of it. The sunken place is not the Patriot way, but he's in it now, and so I think Mac's gonna be good long term. Cam is about, I think, another injury away from landing if it's not Washington. If Houston, if Tyrod goes down, if something happens in LA with Justin Herbert, Lord forbid, I can see that being a spot because I don't really know what their room looks like. Jerry Jones said he was staying away from him, but let that go down and you got to go again with Cooper Rush. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, they'll be calling.
Get Cam on the phone.
Yeah, they'll be calling. Cam is probably one of the most. I feel like he's like, as to win MVP as a quarterback, definitely most disrespected. Definitely. So we had a versus. There was a versus tonight. Ja Rule versus Fat Joe. Who you got?
I didn't even watch it for real. I was at work all day.
I didn't watch it either. I'm just off the muscle of Fat Joe or Ja Rule.
What's crazy is before we picked, what I did hear is Ashanti pulled up and did songs with both. I'm like, what are you doing? It's still fine as wine. Like, That don't
Yes, Ashanti is
that does
bad.
not crack at all. Like we can be 100% about that.
It should be illegal to look as good as she
Man,
look.
and it has not cracked one bit. Like I'm interested to see what happens to her in another 20 years because you could arguably like whatever her secrets are, she could write a tell-all book. But I'll probably go Fat Joe for real, just off of the our I think our time and era. I feel like Fat Joe kind of had a little bit more of a hold on it than Ja Rule. If you and I'm speaking specifically if you take away Ashanti, like all the early hits was Ja Rule and Ashanti. Well, Ashanti got hit with Fat Joe too. Like
Yeah.
how do you play that? I'll go Fat Joe just because he looked like fucking Kirby. Like I just give Fat Joe. Like I'll go with him.
But not, bro. Kirby?
Kirby. What's my motherfucking name?
Are
R-U-L-E.
you
Yeah,
L?
I'm gonna go with Ja Rule. That's my nigga, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a big 50 Cent fan too, so I had to slowly peel away from Ja, but I would take him over Fat Joe for sure.
Same. I don't. Yeah. Who get? Wait. Why can Fat Joe say nigga? Is he black?
I don't know. In New York, they don't care. I mean,
Facts.
you get a pass for just being from New York half the time.
Being Dominican.
Yeah,
But
you could tell snitch. You do whatever you want from New York, and it's all good.
yeah, I'm gonna go Ja Rule. Hits on hits for sure. Um, got slept on catalog. So I'll just go Ja Rule. Um, but yeah, man. Anything else you want to chime in on before we get out of here?
Chiefs Ravens should be a nice game. Cowboys Chargers should be a lot of fantasy points. I got Mike Williams, had him on the bench. He's going in this week. What you gonna do? Hopefully we can turn things around. I'm hoping for a big week 2 in the NFL.
It's right there. Yeah, man. I'm with you, man. NFL is back. Uh, College is about to get. I'm ready for these non-cons to be over.
Yeah.
In case they got Nevada, I'm cool. All the big non-cons are over too. It's like everybody's playing. They like we're gonna pay you to come play games. So I'm ready for conference play to get rolling. That's when we all starting to get the playoff predictions can get
Yeah.
real because once you the conference championships they matter, and so you're not getting without it. So um, the natural law, whatever, it'll take care of itself. Everybody's gonna fall how they're supposed to. Um, but yeah, that CFP, it's gonna be real.
Yep. And just like that, we got another episode. We done with this episode. Fuck with everybody that's supporting so far. Cheers, Braxton drinking the Modelo. What's the Modelo line with the commercial?
I don't know, but this shit crack, man.
Yeah, that's the only beer I'll drink. I'll
Smooth.
drink a Modelo or Corona. Anything else, I'm cool. But hey man, appreciate everybody supporting again. Like I said before, we on Apple Music, we on Spotify, we on iHeart, we on Google Podcasts. Everywhere you want to support, we there. So if you ain't supporting by now, that just means you don't fuck with us. And if you don't fuck with us, I don't fuck with you. And just like that, we out. Holla.
Never too late, too late.